All right, so Mary, Don't You Weep by Aretha Franklin. I got your message this morning. Forgive me, y'all. I've been struggling with trying to get videos and photos off of my phone. That way I have enough memory to be able to make these videos. I haven't been able to make any because I haven't had enough memory, but I went and got this little, this little expansion thing so I can put the videos on my computer. And then it was just a matter of figuring out how to transport it to the computer. So we're back now. Hopefully I can get to making some more videos, and now I know how to put them on the computer so they don't have to just stay on my phone and take up all the memory. But we are going to go over Aretha Franklin, Mary, Don't You Weep. Sister Kathy, I do got that congregational song video ready for you too. I just got to turn it to where it looks right and then post it. So that's how that's coming up. But Mary, Don't You Weep. This is in the key of D flat. D flat major. Now this is one of those songs that's very, very easy. There's not a lot going on as far as like the chord progressions, but I guess the main thing would be learning the rhythm and then learning how to embellish it. That way you don't have to play like the same thing each time. So it's really going to be important to understand like certain concepts with this song. So we'll go over the scale and the number system, and then we're going to start it learning Mary, Don't You Weep, Aretha Franklin. So in the key of D flat is the 1, E flat is the 2, F is the 3, G flat is the 4, A flat is the 5, B flat is the 6, C is the 7, and then you're back at the 1, D flat. All right? So the progression starts off on the 1, and it does a pulse on the 1. You can do a passing tone going from the 5 to the 1, or you can just pulse on the 1. So in your left hand, if you want to, you can just hit octaves, D flat in your left hand, and that's the 1 because we're in the key of D flat. That's something you can do. Another thing you can do is go from the 5 to the 1. 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, like that. All right? That's the 5. The 5th tone of D flat is A flat. And you're going from this A flat to the D flat, which is the 1. Okay? 5 to the 1. And this is in your left hand, all right? You also have in your right hand what you do when you're you have the option to just bounce on the 1 if you want, or go from the 5-1. But what's going to happen is in your right hand, you're going to play chords every single time you hit the 1. Okay? You're going to play a different chord every time you hit the 1 in your left hand. So if you go 5-1, you're going to hit a chord. And then you do it again, 5-1, you hit a chord, and I'll teach you all this on the right hand. 5-1, you hit a chord in your right, and then when you go back to the 5-1, you hit a chord in your right. So every time you hit this 1, you're hitting a chord. Okay? All right, so the first chord, D flat in your left, A flat, D flat, A flat, D flat, and E in the right. That's A flat, D flat, and E in the right. What that is a D flat minor chord in second inversion. D flat minor in root position would be D flat, E, A flat, but we're taking this A flat at the top and we're playing it on the bottom. A flat, D flat, E. And that's what gives us our D minor chord. With that being said, when I showed you this in root position, it doesn't matter, excuse me, it doesn't matter what inversion you choose to play it in. So you can play it in root position with the D flat being on the bottom. You can play this D flat on the top, same notes, but now the D flat is on the top, which this is called first inversion. So you got E, A flat, and D flat. You can also play it the way I showed you, which is A flat, D flat, and E. Either way, you're going to play some type of a D flat minor chord. That's the first chord. You just like, so it's a bum, 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 right? Like a pulse, not a, we're not holding it, it's a pulse. Bum, 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 okay? So first chord, D flat minor, second inversion. The second chord, you can play this in your right hand. It looks like a G flat major in first inversion because you got B flat, D flat, and G flat, which is just a G flat major chord. You can play it like this over the 1. Once again, that's B flat, D flat, or G and G flat. Or you can play an E flat minor chord in your right hand, which is B flat, E flat, G flat. So here's the difference between the two. Here, I'm going to play the G flat in the right hand first. Okay. Now here's with the E flat minor in the right hand. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Shouldn't have did that pickup note. Okay, that's what it sounds like with the E flat minor. And I would actually do the E flat minor chord in your right hand going for the second chord. The first one was A flat, D flat, and E. The second one, if I were you, I would choose this one, which is B flat, E flat, and G flat. Once again, that's D flat on the left, B flat, E flat, and G flat, an E flat minor chord. All right, so you're gonna go D flat minor to the E flat minor chord on the right. From there, you're gonna go to some type of an E major chord. E major, as in Edward. So you got E, A flat, B. This is root position, but all these chords that we've been playing so far, we've been playing it in second inversion. So we're going to play this one in second inversion as well. So we're going to take this B and we're going to take it down here. B, E, A flat. So you can do the 5-1 in your left with those chords. Okay? One more time. So with that beat, just do that part. Okay, so practice that. The next chord after that E major chord, and if I didn't spell it out, it's B, E, A flat for the E major chord in second inversion. B, E, A flat. But after that chord, you're gonna go back to, actually you're gonna go to another chord, which is this one here. Now you're gonna go to that G flat major in first inversion, which is B flat, D flat, and G flat. Not G flat, not G, G flat. B flat, D flat, and G flat. And that's still over the 1. We have not moved from the 1. Even though we're doing this 5-1, 5-1, 5-1, even though we're doing that, it can be said that we're just over the 1, which is why if you just choose the pulse on the 1, it'll work. All those chords that I just showed you, the D flat minor in second inversion, the E flat minor in second inversion, the E major in second inversion, and then back to the E flat minor in second inversion, that's all over the 1. All right? That's the beginning of the song. Oh, oh, Mary. Oh, oh, Mary. Oh, oh, Mary. Okay? Now, notice, when I get to this E major, instead of the pulse, because remember how I said the timing and the rhythm is a pulse? You're going, do, do, oh, oh, Mary, and you're not really holding anything, right? But when we get to this E major, you are going to hold it a little bit longer instead of, oh, sorry. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like this. See that? How when I got to the E, I held it a little bit longer. It corresponds to what the choir is singing. So if you listen to the song, you'll see exactly why I'm saying this. Okay? You got, oh, oh, Mary. Right? So when they say Mary, they hold it for a little bit. B, E, A flat. They hold that. And then you go to this chord. B flat, D flat, G flat. And that's all over the 1. Okay. Another thing that I'm doing, you don't have to do this. This is just an option. You can do a little small lick going up to the 1. And how you would do that lick is going from the 5 to the 6 to the 1. Whereas the 5 is A flat, the 6 is B flat, and then you have the 1, which is D flat. That's something you can do right before you go back into the right there. Da-da-da. So you hit the D flat, and then you hit the chord. So you're actually hitting like a D flat twice. So you got ba-da-dum, bum. Okay? It's just an option. You don't have to do that. You can just do it straight. If you want to do that lick, it's there. Okay, that's the intro. But that intro is played throughout the whole song. Like I said, this song is very repetitive, very easy. Once they start getting into the part where it's like, Mary, don't you weep, you can just, instead of playing up here, you can come down here. Because remember, we were playing the D flat minor in second inversion, A flat, D flat, and E. But what we can do in order to make it come down and not be so pronounced, since now the choir and the singer is getting ready to sing, you can take this E and play it at the bottom. Now, a lot of the times when I'm playing this, I'll show you that in a little bit. It's better to go to the E flat minor. All right, so remember how when you were playing up here, you did the 1 minor, you did the 2 minor, you did the flat 3 minor, and then you went back to the 2 minor? Well, you're going to do that same thing, but you're going to change the inversion. So instead of doing everything in second inversion, like we just did just now, you're going to do everything in first inversion. Okay? So you got E, A flat, and D flat for your D flat minor chord in first inversion. Then you're going to go to the 2 minor chord, which is G flat, B flat, and E flat. Okay, numbers wise, you got 4, 6, 2. Now we're gonna go to that E major chord. Remember the inversions. So you got A flat, B, and E. A flat, B, and E. And then you're gonna go back to the E flat minor chord, which is the second tone. You're going to the second tone's minor chord. So you got, oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Martha, don't you moan. Okay, and I'll show you that part. The first part, oh, Mary, oh, Mary, don't you weep. That's all over the 1, right? So whenever they go to the part when they say, "Oh, Martha, don't you moan," that's when you're gonna be bouncing on the 1, and I'll go back so you can see exactly where to put this. But you're gonna be bouncing on the 1. Here we go. Oh, Martha, don't you moan. Right? Okay, so when you hear that part, that's actually going to the 4. And you can actually make it a dominant 4. So in your left hand, you can go G flat. And again, I'm gonna go back to the top so you can see where we are if you don't know where we're at right now. But G flat in the left hand, B flat, D flat, and E. If you want to make it dominant. That's G flat in the left hand, B flat, D flat, and E. And this is the, oh, Martha, don't you moan, right? Or moan. So you can also do this chord if you want. It's G flat in the left, G flat, B flat, and E flat in the right. G flat on the left, G flat, B flat, E flat. Moan. But after that, after you do this chord over the 4, you're gonna go back to the 1. Okay? So let me go from the top so you can see where we are. Sorry. do the 5-1. Here we go. Mary's. You got to keep that left hand going though. Don't stop like I just did. Mary. All right, let's go into the verse. Here we go. Don't you weep. Oh, Martha, don't you mourn. Okay. So once again. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. So whenever you're getting into the verse, instead of doing that, if you want to make it a little bit easier, instead of doing the 1 minor, 2 minor, flat 3 major thing, you can just go from here, which is D flat on the left, you got E, A flat, and D flat on the right. Okay, so from that D flat minor chord, you can go to this E flat minor chord in first inversion. Okay, so basically just cycling from the 1 minor chord to the 2 minor chord and any inversion. So you can do that. Sorry, I messed up right there. Right? All right, so cycling from the E flat minor, E flat, G flat, B flat,